Hey, God bless you. Good evening, good people. I am Sandy Best Life Jones, and this is Fridays by the Fire. So good to be with you again for yet another episode. You could probably tell, I had a fantastic week. This week was just so great. From the weather to um, the work that I was able to do through my career. It just even little things like waking up and taking a breath it was incredibly gratifying, I must say. Am I glad today is Friday? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I will say I had just such a great week. I'm so grateful. I thank God for every opportunity that He gives me to serve my community, serve my family, and serve all of you through this ministry called Fridays by the Fire. Thank you for being here with me tonight. I appreciate you. Tonight's episode is actually the start of a brand new series called I Learned the Hard Way. And this is a 5-part series. And, I'm going to be touching on not lessons that I learned from a book. These are not lessons I learned in a workshop. These are lessons I learned by living. And tonight's lesson in particular is one that I wish somebody had taught me decades ago. But you know what? When you know better, you do better. And now I know. And that lesson is simply that marriage needs boundaries too. Our key scripture for tonight is found in Proverbs 4 and 23, and it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Now, I know that some people are going to be, there's a lot of reasons why married people need boundaries, because marriage joins two people, but it shouldn't erase two people. Now, you might want to write that down. I'm going to say it again. Marriage joins two people, it does not erase them. And this is the part that I learned the hard way. So I want to jump right in with it. Part one, or point one, love is not the same thing as unlimited access. One of the biggest mistakes many of us make, I believe, and this is the mistake that I made, is having the belief that marriage means unlimited access. Unlimited access to your time, your energy, your emotions, your every thought, your identity. When we think about marriage that way, before long, you don't know where you end and where your spouse begins. And for some people, that works. And if it works for you, keep doing that. But for those of us who feel the importance and understand the importance of maintaining a sense of self, even within your marriage, I'm talking to you. And then the rest of y'all can listen if you want to. I am of the belief that healthy marriages don't eliminate boundaries. Healthy marriages respect boundaries. I believe that love should increase trust, not remove your wisdom. You can be in love with your spouse and still be wise about how you love and how you allow yourself to be loved. Because access without accountability creates a whole host of problems that you don't want or need. When you understand that it's okay to be married and still have your own identity. Yes, you are someone's wife. Maybe you are someone's mother. And that's okay. But you can still be you too. And you can still grow in your marriage. Part of that sense of self and having my own identity could have been a way to increase our level of intimacy that we had with each other. It could have been a way to help us develop more as people. Um, it could have been a way for us to develop a much more healthy style of communication had we known to talk about these things before we got married, but we didn't know. You know, I was 25 when I got married. My former husband was 27, but we had been together since kids. I mean, literally 13 and 15. I was with him at his 15th birthday party. So we didn't know. And our parents didn't know to tell us. So we're thinking, oh, we're married. We're going to be stuck together like Velcro for the rest of our lives. And I know for sure. Actually, I should say the little bit of self that I do know, I lost in my marriage because I really didn't know who I was when I got married at 25. We already had our children when we got married. Our children, both of our children, were at our wedding. So we just didn't know what we didn't know. And the thing that I wish I had known was that it was okay for me to maintain and then continue to grow and develop into the woman that I wanted to be. It would have been okay for me to maintain a healthy sense of self. That would have been okay. But I didn't know. So and I lost myself. I lost myself in my marriage. And I'm not going to say that that's the reason why my marriage ended, but I will say that I wish I would have known to do things differently. Yeah, I wish I would have known. Point two, I personally mistook sacrifice for love. Now, this one really hurt me when I realized it because for years I thought sacrifice automatically meant love. Like if I'm willing to sacrifice for you, that must mean I love you. So the more I gave, the more I loved. The more I tolerated, the more I loved. The more I overlooked, the more I loved. The more I carried, the more I loved. It never dawned on me. It never dawned on me that these actions that you're taking to try and show how much you love are really sucking the life out of you and stealing your joy. Because it's, first of all, it's not being reciprocated. And second of all, it's not healthy for you to become so enmeshed in another person that you're willing to do anything and everything to try and make this person happy. But nothing you do is really making them happy because they're not happy within themselves. Nothing you can do can make them happy because they're not happy with themselves. So it's just like an exercise in futility. Trying to continuously pour into people. You know, there's a way to love someone without becoming their rehab. And for a lot of years in my marriage, I was my former husband's rehab and he was mine. It's not even all on him. He was my rehab too. What I thought was love and what I thought was noble sacrifice was really self-abandonment. And sometimes marriage requires sacrifice, but sacrifice should not require the destruction of yourself as a person, as a woman. It should not require that of you. If one person is always sacrificing while the other person is always benefiting, that is not partnership. That is an imbalance. and it is an unhealthy imbalance. And when both people are doing it, it's a hot mess. It's a mess, and it will jack you up in terms of your marriage. No one should be the origin of your happiness, your peace, your joy, your self fulfillment. That needs to start with God and then go to you. And really, it should be something that you up joy. It helps you maintain your peace. It is the foundation of who you are as a person. You have taken the time to create this life, co-create with God, I should say, this life that you love so much that now you want to share it with somebody. But a lot of times, and in my case, it was a matter of I looked to my former husband to help me become what I thought I needed to be. I wasn't already that when we got married. And that's a lot of work to put on somebody. It's a lot of responsibility to put on somebody. And yes, our husband, and if you're a man, your wife, there are some deposits that we need to make as a spouse to help you grow and develop and evolve. But all the work should not be on your spouse. All of that growth and development work should not be on your spouse. It should be something that you have already started, something that is already a part of who you are before you get married. So you bring what you've already built into the marriage, and he brings what he's built, and then you build something together. That's the way I see it now. And everybody may not see it that way, but that's the way I see it. And that's the way I would have done it had I known better. Point 3. Boundaries. So when you go home, the fence is not, that's not why the fence is there. The fence is there to protect the home because the home is valuable. So your boundaries protect the trust in your marriage. They protect the respect. They protect the honesty. They protect the communication. They protect the safety of your union. That's what boundaries are for. Now, what do I mean when I mean boundaries in marriage? I mean, the two of you have talked about what is and what is not acceptable in your marriage. I'm not telling you to look across the fence at what other people are doing. I'm saying in your own marriage, you women, ladies, my sisters, we need to talk to our husbands about what is and what is not acceptable in our marriage. And we need to allow them to communicate that same thing to us, preferably before you get married. What are the rules of engagement of this union? We're not talking about somebody else. We're talking about this union. What are the rules of engagement for us? What are the standards that we've set for our marriage? What are the expectations we have of each other? All of these things need to be discussed before you get married. Because if you wait thinking, oh, I'm just going to tell you, it's possible, but it's not easy. And it can be avoided when you are honest and upfront with each other about what you simply cannot tolerate and what you welcome into your union. Now, some things you won't even really know until you get into the marriage a little bit, and then you address those things as you go along. You don't just ignore them. You don't turn away, act like it's not happening. Um, Unspoken expectations can never be met, and that's the next episode of this series. I learned the hard way. Unspoken expectations will never be met. You cannot get upset about your husband not meeting an expectation that you never gave him. You can't get mad about that. You can't expect him to just know. And I hear women say this all the time. Well, he should just know. Why? How would he know? Why should he know? Why should you not just tell him? Why play the guessing game? Why do that when you don't have to? When you can just be honest and upfront in the most kind, loving way possible and say to him, I really don't like it when you tell me you're going to be home at 8, but you end up getting home at midnight. That bothers me. I don't like it. I want to talk to you about it. Or what? I don't like that. I don't like when you use that tone of voice with me. That hurts my feelings. That makes me feel that you don't even really like me. I feel neglected when that happens. I feel unseen when that happens. I feel like you don't hear me and don't want to hear me when that happens. It's all right to express your concerns in your marriage. It's all right to have expectations of each other, not just you, my sisters, having expectations of your husband, but he can have expectations of you too. It's important. It's okay and important to hold each other accountable. You are each other's accountability partners before anybody else, before your pastor, your first lady, your best friend. I don't care who it is. Accountability starts with the two of you. And then the two of you are accountable to God too. So be really careful about allowing other people to come in and fill roles that you should be filling for each other. Be careful about that, because that's when that silent resentment sets in and is downhill from there. How you feel needs to be expressed in the most loving, kind way possible, but express it nonetheless. I did not do that for most of my marriage. I went quiet when I was upset. It took a lot for me to really say how I was feeling, because I didn't always feel heard. And then it got to the point where I was heard, but I wasn't respected. And I knew that. So I stayed quiet. That's I my heart regardless, and just let the chips fall where they may. As long as I'm speaking from the loving, kindest, most loving and kind place that I can, I need to say what I need to say. And then we can talk about it. But I didn't do that. So a lot of times it was me inwardly that had happened that I never brought to his attention. And then things that I did bring to his attention that he ignored. So I wish I would have known, but now I do. So when I remarry, not if, but when, I know as a woman now at 58 years old, I know how to voice my concerns, and I know how to relay my expectations to my husband. And I welcome him to do the same. Amen. Amen. Point four, I personally became responsible for things that were not mine. And this was a huge lesson for me too. I realize now that at some point I stopped being a wife and I started being responsible for another grown adult's choice. His decisions, his on them. It's their responsibility. It's not yours. But again, I didn't know that. Each of us as adults, we have to answer for our own choices, our own actions, our own behavior. And I'm telling you, the day I finally learned that was the day my life changed. It changed my life when I finally got it. You are responsible for your choices, and he is responsible for his. And when your choices, meaning mine and his, inflict pain within our marriage, then we're both responsible and we both need to be accountable to each other. It took me a long time to finally get that. 28 years. I think I got it in my 20th year of marriage. I got it. And I started to make the necessary adjustments. But ooh, that was painful. It was painful because I really thought that I could love this person into making better choices and making better decisions. And when I finally had to admit that that's just not possible, ooh, that hurt. That hurt. But I finally got it. And now I understand it. And I understand why it's so important for people to experience the consequences of their own choices and decisions. They need that experience. I need that experience. We cannot deprive each other of that experience. We have to allow each other to experience the consequences of our behavior and our choices. And God is all in and up through that. He wants that for you. Really understand how your choices and decisions can affect other people in a negative way. So yes, his grace is sufficient, but there are some things that you just have to go through because you created the mess. Now you got to clean up your mess. I hope I'm making sense. Point five, boundaries reveal who respects you. This is something, there's a lot I just did not know. Boundaries reveal who respects you. People often love the version of you that has no boundaries, because that version never says no, never pushes back, never questions anything, and never requires accountability. That person is just a wife without borders, a husband without borders, a daughter without borders, a sibling without borders, a best friend without borders. Just everything goes. It's a free for all. Do what you want to do. I'll never call you on the carpet because I love you. I now know that love will call you on the carpet. Love will point out to you when you're going left and you need to go right. Love will do that for you in a loving way, in a respectful way. But yes, love will do that for you, just like we do with our own children. We're not going to let our children walk out on the street and we see a car coming. So why would we let our husband hurting you, but hurting your marriage, hurting your union? Why would we allow him to continue to do that without saying something? Well, I didn't say anything because I didn't know I needed to. I thought I could just pray it all away. I thought I could get up in the choir every Sunday and sing it away. I thought I could pray and fast and beg and plead with God to change my marriage, and my marriage would change. Because what I didn't know is my marriage wasn't going to change until I changed. It wasn't even about my husband changing. I needed to change. I needed to grow up. I needed to allow God to reveal my worth to me. The change had to start in me before anything could change in my marriage. I know now that when boundaries, and who simply benefited from your lack of boundaries. And that is the truth in friendships, it's the truth in families, and yes, my sisters, it is the truth in marriage. Boundaries reveal the level of respect your husband has for you. If he loves and respects you, he doesn't mind you having a boundary around, him doing what he says he's going to do, him being a man of his word, him being a man of character and honor. He doesn't mind you expecting that from him. If he's those things, or if he's open to becoming more of those things, he won't remind you having that expectation. He won't mind you having that expectation. If it's a problem, that's a problem. If you having boundaries in your marriage, having expectations of your husband, having expectations of your union is a problem for your husband, that's a whole problem in the marriage, period. Didn't know it then, but I know it now. Even Jesus had boundaries. If you think about it, he didn't give everybody equal access. He withdrew to pray. He rested. He walked away from crowds. He didn't chase people who rejected him. Jesus demonstrated that boundaries and love can coexist. And that's a powerful epiphany that I finally had. Boundaries and love can coexist. Because many of us as women have been taught that love means endless availability, endless everything. I'm here to say no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Endless disrespect is not love. Endless dishonor is not love. Endless abuse, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, that is not love. So in my closing, if I could sit down with my younger version of myself, today and have a conversation with her, I would say, yes, love deeply, serve willingly, forgive often and generously, but keep your boundaries. Keep your boundaries. It's all right to have boundaries in your relationships. I don't care if it's your mama or your man. It's okay. It's okay to speak the truth with love. It's okay to express what hurts you and why it hurts you. It's okay to do that. That can't read your mind. And as far as I know, nobody can. Be willing to do that for them. And then stand back and see how they respond to it. Their response will tell you everything that you need to know. You don't have to yell and scream and throw things and get mad and make threats. They don't believe you anyway because you've been making threats for 20 years. They don't believe in threats. Like, again, it's like your kids. You start counting 1, 2, Do you know how many times you've done that with little Johnny? Johnny ain't paying you no attention. That's why you got to keep counting. He is not paying you any attention. He knows there is no consequence on the at the end of those numbers. He already knows that. So, what are you doing? Keep your boundaries. Boundaries protect healthy marriages. But when boundaries are absent, people often end up carrying stuff that God never meant for them to carry. Your marriage needs communication. Your marriage has got to have trust. Your marriage needs a healthy dose of grace because we all make mistakes. We all mess up in marriage. We all do things that we wish we never would have done or things we wish we never would have said. We've all done it. I've done it. But when those mistakes turn into patterns of behavior, and you guys hear me say this all the time, a mistake is different than a pattern of behavior. They're two different things. You got to be able to recognize the two. And when it becomes a pattern of behavior, you got to be willing to call. Even if that means going to counseling, it'll be worth it in the end. If you cannot just save your marriage, but heal your marriage or even rebuild the marriage that has crumbled. If it's possible to rebuild, if you're both on the same page about a rebuild, if you both want it, it can be done. But you cannot fight for a marriage if you're in that ring by yourself. So don't let anybody make you think you need to be going 12 rounds by yourself over and over and over and over and over. God forbid. God forbid. At some point, you have to be the one to break the cycle of whatever is hurting your marriage in your marriage. It may have to be you. Boundaries are not walls that keep love out. They're fences that protect what love is supposed to build. That's what a boundary is. Marriage. Through in my marriage. And since then, it's been 5 years now, has helped me to become more aware of who I am as a woman, more aware of what my capacity is. I understand my capacity, what I can carry and what I cannot. I am no longer a martyr for love. I will never ever be a martyr for love again. I'm gonna love you at the same level and sometimes a little bit more. But that reciprocity has to be there. It needs to be tangible. It needs to be something that I can see, that I can feel, that I can experience. I need to know that what I bring to the marriage is respected. I need to know that I am honored as a woman. And you will know that I honor you as well. You will know. That's what I've learned. And I'm overcome with gratitude that God would have me learn these lessons so that I can then turn around and teach them to you. So thank you for being here tonight for Fridays by the Fire. This is part 1 of a 5-part series entitled I Learned the Hard Way. I will see you next week for next week's episode. Unspoken expectations can never be met. Now, I was going to end tonight's show with my song, I Am Enough. It's a song that I wrote And that song comes from my favorite scripture in Matthew 6:25 through 34. But I changed my mind. I want to end the night with another song that I wrote. And this song came out of me. I think I told you a couple weeks ago that I've been going back reading my journals from 2021 when I first made the decision to end my marriage. And I've been journaling for a long time, since I was a little girl. So I went back and I started reading my journals, and I came across this list that I created. And on this list was a list of all of the attributes that I wanted in a man in my next marriage. And if you're a woman, you probably got a list somewhere. Even if you don't have one right now, today you done wrote one at some point in your life. I think every woman has. And men probably do too. I don't know. I'm not a man. I've never asked a man, do men write lists? I don't know. They might not. But anyway, I had a list. And so I was reading that list. And after reading that list, I started just writing out this song. And this year I went back to complete the song, complete the lyrics. And with the advances in technology, I've been able to bring that song to life. And I want to share it with you tonight. The song is called Good Man, written by yours truly. I hope you like it. And I want to thank you for being here tonight. We're going to end with Good Man. But in the meantime, I want you to be good. Thank you for being here. God bless you. Good night.
Gold hoops, Bible by the bed, pixie cut fire, prayers in the hair, red lip, brown skin, glowing in the dark. She been choosing peace since the first love broke her heart. She walked past mirror, smiles, God did that, bold and encouraged, head crowned in rap. She ain't in a rush, heart on a shelf, waiting on a man who can love her like she love herself. Ooh, yeah. I'm saving all this love for my good man. Yeah, yeah. Body, mind, and soul in his good hands. Oh, I'm grown and I know what I'm made of. I'm a woman of faith. I'm a woman of faith. Yeah. I know when it's the right kind of real love. When it's time, you gon' meet me in the light, not the club. Till then, I'm held, I'm whole, I stand, I'm ready. But I'm waiting on my good man. Friday night, she home unbothered, being me. Journal in the Psalms, Anita Wilson on repeat. Silk jammies, whip shade, laughing on the phone, telling her girls I'd rather be alone than lay with anybody who can't pray with me. Touch my spirit, not my body. This ain't that child, please. She got standards, they ain't moving for a fine face. You can't buy her respect or treat her any kind of way. I'm saving all this love for my good man. Oh, I am. Body, mind, and soul in his good hands. Yeah, yeah. I'm grown and I know what I'm made of. I'm a woman of faith. I'm a woman of faith. Yeah. I know when it's the right kind of real love. When it's right, you gon' meet me in the light, not the club. In the light. Till then, I'm held, I'm whole, I stand. But I'm waiting on my good man. Talk to me right, don't rush this thing. Cover me first before you change my name. Can you do what's right when you feel like being wrong? Stand on business for our love, and my heart to you belongs. I won't give it all for a maybe, not for a maybe, no. I'm walking it out like a lady, virtuous and bold. If you want this love so sacred, come steady, come true. 'Cause I'm ready, but I'm waiting, saving all my love for you. I'm saving all this love for my good man. waiting on my good man.